Alright, welcome to Waterfall Valley Hut and day 2 of our little 3-day mission around the back of Cradle Mountain. Now yesterday we did basically day 1 of the Overland Track plus a side trip to the Cradle Mountain summit, so check that out if you haven't already. But today, pretty much waterfall day, so we're going to be doing Waterfall Valley itself, all the waterfalls down there. It's a beautiful area, so I'm looking forward to exploring that place again. And then another waterfall kind of off in Cradle Cirque, unofficially known as Dombrovskis Falls because Dombrovskis took a really cool photo of it. If you don't know who that is, he's like the most famous Tasmanian wilderness photographer of all time, which Lil had no idea who he was. So yeah, I'll be able to like show hopefully a split screen of his photo 100 years ago versus mine, or not 100 years ago, however long ago, which will be quite cool. But yeah, how you feeling this morning? Fresh?
No.
Yeah, doesn't look it.
No.
Sore?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Tired.
Oh well. It's not a super long day. We're only going from here to Scott Kilvert, which is like 5 or 6 Ks, plus these side trips. So let's do it. Starting off day 2, and we're heading for the first bit towards Windermere Hut. Towards that valley right over there. So just in there is the Harnett rivulet. You cross over a little bridge and then it heads off Brannigan Falls, basically right there. But where Lil's standing here is the start of the unofficial but pretty well used side trail down to Brannigan Falls. So let's check it out. Only 5-10 minutes from the hut, not far at all. Upper section of Brannigan Falls, quite an interesting kind of rock layer. Not flowing as well as it might have been this time of year, but still a decent bit of water. And you can peer off 20 metres below to the base of the main falls, and then down there into Waterfall Valley where we're going to be pretty soon. Entering the rainforest as we descend into the beautiful Brannigan Falls. First waterfall of Waterfall Valley, the beautiful Brannigan Falls. How do you rate it, Lil?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. There you go. Pretty good. It's a little bit light flowing. It's nicer after a bit more rain, but it's really cool. A big overhang behind, and it's this huge slab of rock it tumbles over. But I'll give you a look. Just sort of swaying in the breeze a bit. Find some place for a shot. So we're back on the quote-unquote main track, leads back towards the top. There's kind of a little path that leads off this way. It's not much of a trail, but it's something, and it's what we follow towards the lower sets of waterfalls, which are all down that way.
That's nicer.
Next one up, Lily says, quote, "That's much nicer." This is Lower Brannigan's. Really cute little waterfall, and it's just such an awesome open surrounding around here. Okay, we're at the base of the trident-shaped Lower Brannigan Falls. Really beautiful little spot. What's the review of this one, Lil?
I changed my last one to 4
All right.
Brannigan,
Yep.
and maybe 6.5.
6.5.
What
There you
was
go.
champagne?
Big scores. 6.
Yeah, 6.5.
There we go. Really pretty the way it kind of splits over the tiers. See if we can make our way across the creek without falling in. Righto, let's see how we can do with the photos.
next falls along the way. This one's basically parallel to Lower Brannigan. Not massive or overly impressive, but another nice one ticked off. Also a bit of a bush bash to get around here. Still a really funky conglomerate rock cliff. Going to be hard to get a good photo here. So much overgrowth. Another little waterfall in the valley. Beautiful. And there is Lower Brannigan. Made it to the last waterfall in the valley. Glory Falls, made famous by Peter Dombrovskis. Took an awesome shot from basically this exact angle. Just so beautiful. We've got the cliffs lining the creek up to the falls. Gonna try some shots from here and then go right to the base for a look. Alright, so fifth and last waterfall of the mission into Waterfall Valley. There's another big falls further downstream, but it's about an extra kilometre of walking, and we kind of...
Bush bashing?
Yeah, not bush bashing really, but it's a fair ways further down, and given we got more to do today, we thought we'd call it a day here. What do you reckon, the best one in the valley? Glory Falls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. This twin plunge is beautiful. I'll give you a bit of a look from front on, but yeah. Okay, so we've returned to Waterfall Valley Hut, had lunch, it's now the afternoon, and we're going to be going off on part 2 of today's adventure to find Dombrovskis Falls, which I'm pretty excited for. Basically, it looks like about 1.4 k's each way off track, hopefully, touch wood, through fairly open button grass, and then a steep sort of scramble down to the base of what looks a pretty large waterfall. So I'll show you where we jump off the track, and yeah, let's do it. So we've climbed about 40 or 50 metres from Waterfall Valley down there. This is pretty much going to be our dive off point. So we're just going to head on into the scrub, which is pretty open sort of stuff, and then continue through there on contour. For the most part, it's pretty obvious where you have to go because you've got the hill just there. You always have to run to climb. You're not wanting to descend. So you've got this big flat plateau that your base is picking your path of least resistance along. And that's going to sort of go around this corner eventually into the Cradle cirque. I'm following a GPS route I was sent, and I'm happy to send anyone the GPS route we end up getting today. Just send me a message, but you shouldn't really go too far wrong. It's pretty obvious. We've kind of rounded the bend now. We've got Mount Emmett in the clouds there, Benson Peak straight ahead. It's all been this sort of hiking, a little bit of bush bashing in one spot, but generally not too bad at all. Bill nearly fell on camera, that would have been a bad moment for you. So we've come to the edge of the escarpment and we're basically standing on top of a cliff. It's taken us 45 minutes to do about 1.4 k's, which is not bad if you're really off track. But tell us about the last bit of that walk, Bill.
I think I slipped/fell into the bushes about 10 times and lost 5.
Yeah, the scrub got a little bit high toward the end, which was very annoying, but it's a bloody long way down here, so I'm keen to see what the falls look like from below, but yeah, I'll show you from the top. canyon going on here is just incredible. Be a good one to abseil, I reckon. So we've just scared a wombat. He's run away, unfortunately, but so we've just come kind of round the corner from those cliffs, and there's a bit of a gully here. Now I reckon this is going to be our route down, hopefully. It's going to be our first attempt anyway. Let's see how we go. So I've aborted trip here. I kept going further down, but this is too far down in the day. But this gives you some idea of what you're looking at. It is genuinely vertical. Well, the scroll down to the base is, and it's a long way down. It's a big waterfall, but yeah, that's what you're in for. I could probably get down there with more time. I wouldn't take Lily down there, she's not that experienced, but it is proper steep shit. But let's get a view from the top, so I'll go back up there for some photos. So I'm lagging behind slightly because I just packed my pack up, but we've made it back out to the main track. It ended up taking us 45 minutes in, 40 minutes out to the top vantage point of the waterfall. Getting down to the base, probably doable, but really hard, really sketchy. But we got some nice views of what is a very big waterfall, albeit we only saw the top 20 meters or so. But basically now it's already 3:40, so it's getting a little bit late and a bit miserable out. We've got about 5Ks to cover to get to Scott Kilvert Hut. So first up, climbing the last 150 metres to the Cradle Cirque Plateau up there, then flat for a while, and then we're descending down the track into Scott Kilvert. So I doubt there'll be much to see because it's pretty much clouded in now, but yeah, I'll see you a bit further along. Ended up being much quicker than I expected. It only took us 40 minutes to get here, but we're back to the Scott Kilvert turnoff. Weather is absolutely miserable, but ploughing on. Hopefully it does not take an hour as the sign says. Feeling good, Lil? Yeah, similar. Right, now let's do it. Just started the descent, or the steep part of the descent. Now, I came here about 7 or 8 years ago and it was really awkward flying most of the way. So far, it's actually quite nice steps. Now, I'm hoping that means they've done some track work since 2017, but it might actually just get worse. But for now, nice steps going down. Steep, but not too bad. It ends up being about 300 metres you drop from the turn-off with the Overland Track to Lake Rodway and the Scott Kilvert Hut. So, yeah. But I don't remember these stairs, so that's a good sign.
These steps are fucking massive. Imagine trying to climb up this. It's like a ladder.
Yeah. First glimpse to our destination. There's Lake Rodway out there. Still looking annoyingly distant, but we're getting there. Nearly there. There's Lake Rodway. I definitely was wrong with that lake. I thought that was Lake Rodway before, but...
I don't know, why couldn't it be this one?
Because it looked nothing like this.
Really?
Yeah, and we've been not going towards it.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad. But it's a pretty cool looking lake, and even cooler looking because it means we're nearly at the hut. Made it! What a cool hut. Dove Lake car park, 3 hours from here. Nice work.
We did it.
Day 2 done. Let's go inside.
Alrighty, we're all set up in Scott Kilvert. We tried and failed to get the coal heater to go, so we are just sitting here in the cold, which is not ideal, but... Anyways, thoughts on today, Lil? Ended up taking us 45 minutes from the junction with Cradle, with the Overland Track, and about an hour 40 from Waterfall Valley Hut to get here, by the way, but... Thoughts on today's hiking?
Cold, and after yesterday, it
it was very hard on the legs, especially the bush bashing, but it was fun and we made it.
Yeah. That's the main thing. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Some nice waterfalls down in Waterfall Valley.
Yeah, I really liked
Glory Falls, Lower Brannigan Falls.
Lower Brannigan.
Lower Brannigan, yeah. Including one I hadn't found before, and obviously Lil hadn't been to any of them, so a few new finds for her. Dombrovskis Falls, well, I mean, slightly a bust because you couldn't get to the base, but got a view of it, and it's still a cool one to bag. And yeah, that's about it really. So the actual hiking from hut to hut was only an hour 40. But then we spent 3 hours in Waterfall Valley, 2.5 hours doing Dombrovskis Falls. So it was a reasonable day in the end. Tomorrow we're just hiking out back to Ronnie Creek. So I think it's only like 7 Ks to Dove Lake and then another 2-ish to Ronnie Creek. Pretty cruisy on a track. Should only be a few hours of walking. We're going to try and find one hidden waterfall near Twisted Lakes. So tune in for that. But besides that, that's it from us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, wait, we haven't done our food review.
Oh, we just forget. Food review. We had, last food review. What did we have last? We had the peri-peri last night, which was shite. The Indian curry.
So, I had a little bit of a debacle and spilt almost half of it on the ground and it looked like vomit and then we had to clean it. So, anyways, mine wasn't really, cooked properly because I lost, most of the liquid that was supposed to cook it. But, didn't really taste like Indian or curry, but it was food. So
yeah, it was better than the peri-peri. It was.
You liked it.
It was alright. It was 6 out of 10. It was on par with the Mexican chili, worse than the pesto.
I would not say it was on par with the Mexican chili.
I would.
Okay.
Whatever. You didn't like the chili.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, pesto. This one and the chili. Peri-peri down here. There might be some more. The barbecue one I had a while ago. It was pretty shit. So anyway. Make of that what you will, but it's a good brand because it's not that expensive and it actually fills you up. But that's it from us. We'll see you tomorrow for the hike out.
Good night.